Ah, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Isn't that nice?
It's very, very peaceful, calming music.
So we should keep that tone, really.
Stay calm.
We should stay calm for this whole hat chat and talk about nice things.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 167. Did you just burp into the microphone?
That's not calm at all.
It's calm though. It wasn't allowed. It
He's
wasn't
relaxed
a belch.
his muscles.
It could have been a horrible belch.
Yeah.
But it was a peaceful burp.
Just a bit of.
Look forward to that. Fingal in its entirety is a lot longer at the end. Thank you, Dibs Watt, for that one.
Are we saying that correctly?
Yep. That was perfect.
Right, okay. Sorry, I don't know who said that.
This is their third time. I'm Chris Trott.
Thank you, Chris Trott. I'm Russ Hornby.
I'm Alex Smith, and I'm listening to Chris Trott and Ross Hornby.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right. I'm listening to Alan and Trott.
We don't wear headphones. We're so close together, we don't need them.
No. Around the same table, so there's no latency. This is not some sort of online Discord discussion podcast. This is real life.
Legitimate communication.
Yeah.
Legitimate communication.
In the same room, isn't that nice? Anyway.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Anything big happen?
Oh, no. Nothing huge. Nothing major. Just
normal shit.
Just normal, regular shit.
Stuff. Like being away for 2 weeks. That's me. I was away.
Is it 2 weeks
now
or
I'm
3?
back.
I think we've been, 3 since we
did a hat chat. And now we're here. Here to give you some calming vibes.
Real calm.
Some juicy goss.
Right. So we're still going with the calming.
We're still staying
ideally,
calm.
Yeah.
This is actually, I'll talk about the story you mentioned the other day, actually, which was quite alarming, if anything. So if you do have testicles...
This is not calming at all,
It's
Ross.
literally alarming.
No, it's alarming. It's a alarming.
Alarming.
Anyway, there's microplastics found in every human testicle.
Every human testicle has microplastics in it.
Are we talking like, when you get a Kinder Egg and you get that plastic capsule inside?
Yeah. Your balls are going to end up looking like that.
Are they surrounded in a...
No, it's not like calcified inside a ball of plastic.
You know that happens to implants, though?
Sorry?
You know that happens to implants?
Yeah, I know they do, yeah.
They calcify.
And they just get hard. That sounds horrible.
I saw a guy breaking them, yeah?
Yes, I've seen...
You know that thing where
it breaks out like... It's like a... In fact, if anything, there's a level of satisfaction. I know I've said this before about like kind of squeezing spots or like when they take the ear scum out of someone's ear. There was a level of satisfaction. It was like a breast implant they took out because it calcified around it because it didn't... I don't know. It was just in there for a long time.
Over time, apparently.
And he just peeled it out of this little shell.
But he could break the calcification with a hammer. It was like, when you put a balloon and then blow up a balloon and cover it in papier-mâché.
Exactly.
Allow it to harden, then you remove the balloon.
It was quite satisfying. Not as a career that I would want to get into.
What, plastic surgery?
Or removing, I don't want to start just...
Specifically removing.
Or just come in when they... All right, we need a nutcracker.
Yeah, but you get to cut up tits and asses all day, Ross. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Cut up tits and asses all day.
With a wire cutter.
I don't know. I think surgeons are psychopaths. Deep down. Trained.
Very.
I'm glad they exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Love cutting up bodies.
Cutting up bodies is...
I always think about that.
Probably got to really remove a lot of the physicality of what it is out of your head. You can just be like, this is just a job. I'm saving lives.
Yeah,
Focus
you must
on the
be
saving lives part, and that's all good. But
in
gross.
this situation, you'd be just making boobs bigger.
so you're just like,
so instead of saving lives, you're maybe accidentally killing people with what's it called, Brazilian butt lifts, the most dangerous surgery there is.
Why is that the most dangerous?
Because it causes blood clots, and blood clots
on
are
the main
like
arteries or the leg.
Just bad blood, in the ass or like in the ass.
Did you get yours removed? Or
I had to get them removed, which I'm gutted about.
Serious
but
issue.
The good news is I raised a pig and then recycled some of the fat from the pig and put it into my own ass. But it's cool because I raised the pig
yourself. It's organic.
To kill it for a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, I harvested the meat off of the pig that I created with CRISPR and my own semen
you genetically modified
at a local farm. Also, the farm doesn't know about this, so I had to do it clandestine. So I crept into a pig farm.
Mm-hmm.
The pig I chose the prettiest pig I could.
Did it look like you a little bit?
Oh, what, the new pig, the pig that came out?
You said that you CRISPR'd it.
Look kind of thing like Babe.
Yeah, I thought you were asking how did the mother pig look?
Right.
Because I thought I was trying to look for a good-looking one.
Oh, I see.
But I didn't do anything to the animal. I just injected it.
I see.
AI, the original AI,
you said
artificial insemination.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the original AI. So anyway, 6 weeks later, I pop out, and not me, my fat
clone.
donor, my pig human hybrid fat donor, pops out. I take it to the plastic surgeon. They suck all of the fat out of it, like those things in Dune where they take people's water.
Oh, yeah.
There's
That's visceral.
Yeah.
Does that, but with my fat pig human hybrid clone. And then they put it into my ass, and now I got a popping ass again.
So then you had an issue and had to get it taken out.
Huh?
But you had an issue, yeah.
Initially, I had to get it taken out because, yes, Brazilian butt lifts do cause blood clots, which, if going to your heart or brain, can kill you pretty much instantly. So
Sick.
Yeah, or lungs.
Anywhere.
Yeah, they're not good. Blood clots are bad.
Any of the
That's
major
why you
organs.
want regular leech treatments, because their anticoagulant spit will keep the likelihood down.
I just take a ton of aspirin every morning.
Yeah,
Is
a
that
ton.
good? I don't know if that's good either.
So
Isn't that blood thinner, right?
Yeah.
So that's...
yeah, it gets rid of clots, doesn't it?
Is it? Or maybe it helps loosen up those ones that are kind of stuck.
Well, that's what they should.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
it's
the
like,
point.
Okay, but it loosens up and then it gets stuck in your heart.
Oh god, it's gone somewhere else.
So, that's how I picture it. I'm sure it's not as simple as that, but
What?
you thin the blood and then this chunk of coagulated
Goes from a
blood
chunky
then
artery
just travels
into
down
a
and
real
gets stuck in your
fragile
heart,
one.
and that's
That's literally how it happens. Yeah.
literally how it happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Horrendous.
Shit.
Yeah.
I remember.
yeah. It's meant to be a calming podcast.
And also just
calming
we're just
podcast.
thinking about things that will kill us without us even knowing, like aneurysms and stuff.
What can we do?
Don't know.
Don't
I'll
think
wake up
about
in
them.
my parallel dimension universe where I carry on my life.
I'm starting to think this.
Anyway, I had a CD. Which had a load of educational stuff on it. This was like Windows 98 era.
A CD-ROM?
CD-ROM.
No way.
Which had a bunch of educational stuff on it. You could walk around like a 3D hospital and check out all the different rooms. It was like Doom.
Right.
It looked
I
like
know
Doom.
What you mean, yeah.
Wait, is this a dream story?
No, this is real.
Right. Okay.
This is real. It
Did you ever
reminds
have an Encyclopedia 95 where it was?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, I remember that as well.
That
We could
was-
move around the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you could find like
information.
a picture of a bird of prey,
Yeah.
with like a magnifying glass over it or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some were interactive, but I walked into the heart room. What are you doing? Burping?
Burping this way.
Right.
Might be a bit smelly.
But yeah.
I had red onions.
Walked into the heart room
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, it's like a 3D heart, like 5 polygons and a picture like pixelated. But then it did a video of the heart and you can see it pumping like an animated GIF style. And then it zoomed in on an artery and showed me what a blood clot and a heart attack looked like. And then on top of that, they added that really low resolution scream on top of it. So it goes like dun 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 dun. Ah! And that was the end of the video.
That is terrifying.
And that was an educational video.
There was something distinctly dark and scary about early graphics, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Like, really, like, I think it was the way they used to use, like, try to recreate shadows by using slightly greener and grayer pixels and stuff like that. And it gave it that real, like, kind of like grey-green scale kind of feel a lot of the time.
We know in The Matrix where Keanu enters the Matrix for the first time, all that liquid silver goes down his throat and his voice bit crushes.
Yeah.
It sounded like that.
Yeah.
It was quite horrible.
That's gross.
And it sounds wrong. Like when it's all crushed like that, the resolution's really low.
Yeah.
So that was traumatic.
But you learned something.
Yeah, don't have a heart attack.
Again, it's the type of thing you can't. I mean, you can avoid it, I suppose, with eating right.
Fatty
but
foods.
Sometimes I think it's just kind of.
Sometimes you're
isn't it
predisposed.
genetic?
Yeah.
Predisposed genetically, which isn't. Why are we talking about this? This is depressing.
I'm calm.
He's calm.
I don't know about you,
He's
but I'm calm.
Anyway, they found microplastics in
Everyone's testicles.
human testicles. It's a decades-long decline in sperm counts in men around the world.
Shit.
We think it might be to do with all the indestructible pieces of shit we're putting in all the things we drink and eat. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would have an impact? We want
It's
to know.
just so convenient, though, isn't it? Having a plastic bottle, having plastic.
No, plastic's
everything.
a great thing. It's just that there should be more. Like, we need to innovate our way out of these problems as well. Like, you know,
Well, they've just found a way to
But I thought-
recycle concrete. Did you see? Which
no, I
is pretty
didn't.
useful. Because that apparently is like really hard to like
Is it?
reuse.
What
Properly.
do they have to do with it? Blast into the sun? I don't think that's recycling.
I think it's something to do with BBLs as well.
Oh my
There's-
god,
it's
not
all
another
linked.
people.
Yeah.
I thought I
They
just
used
branded
to
up
smash
my
it
Fat
down.
Pig brand.
Yeah. They crumble it down with their BBLs. They smash
Yeah.
them together. 2 people have to volunteer,
Right.
and they crush the concrete against their BBLs.
And
Which
that.
thus also strengthens.
Why does it
their-
have to be
their
that
BBL.
process?
I don't know.
Why
It
can't
smashes
they-
out the blood clots like a meat tenderizer.
I see.
With my branding
double
idea
win.
of having the pig-human hybrid meat donor, like fat
Yes.
donor.
Yeah.
Can you guys think of any good like branding names for that? So what I'm selling is a human pig hybrid
Yeah.
that it will be harvested to create a larger like butt on me.
Something like piggy bank.
Piggy bank? Oh, I like that. I like piggy bank.
Because you're banking on it to.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You're growing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you.
How are you creating this?
So you use CRISPR.
CRISPR. Right, I've got CRISPR is the answer for everything.
Draw the rest of the owl.
Yeah.
And
probably other forms of AI as well as the artificial insemination.
Yeah, why not?
And actual AI.
And an actual pig.
And digital AI.
And an actual pig. And then you squirt the CRISPR semen hybrid mix into the...
I'm not sure you should be like squirting your semen mixed with a bit of CRISPR.
That's why I've had to use CRISPR, because...
CRISPR's
but there's that
technology.
documentary of a guy on CRISPR who's literally just injecting himself with a variety of things.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's just like, yeah, we'll see how this one works. I was like...
Is he a scientist?
I don't think so. He might claim he is.
Okay.
But a quack, if you will.
A quack?
A quack.
Oh,
Wasn't a quack
a scientist.
Just a regular scientist then.
Are you talking about Brian Cox again?
No, it's not Brian Cox. It was some. Yeah, it was a
That guy's a
there
quack.
was a documentary. I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah, it was literally all about CRISPR and how. I was talking about how great it was. But
I
he
saw that
literally
as
just
well.
injected himself.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all
He's
sorts
like,
of stuff.
I
It's
got
like,
this one that's going to give me more muscle.
Yeah.
Boom. And he was just doing it. Yeah. It's pretty dumb. But they have managed to make like rats glow and stuff by taking the bioluminescent gene
cool.
from a squid.
I mean, it's
putting it in a
not
rat.
cool.
Would you want to glow?
Yeah.
I'd like to glow.
You want to glow like?
Can you imagine how useful it would be to glow all the time?
You're just a torch.
You like? What was it Alex Mack? Was it?
Yeah.
Don't we
That
all
old
have
Nickelodeon
a
show.
level of bioluminescence that we just can't see
I think it's
with
in our balls,
the
from the looks of
wavelength of sight that we see? Apparently, we have a pattern on our skin that's very similar to that you see.
This sounds like aura pseudoscience.
No, I think it's true.
Okay.
Potentially.
I'm sure you reflect light in a certain way. You sure?
I'm going to Google it.
Yeah.
You carry on.
And make sure you open Google, not TikTok.
They tested the sperm from pet dogs as well.
Shit.
I just saw it. 47 testes from pet dogs. They found microplastic pollution in every sample. So, like, I guess with the pet dogs, at least it's a bit more ethical to take their balls. Well, I say ethical. Normally, their balls get chopped off. Murphy's still got his.
Why? Because you're saving the plastic for a nice cup.
I just want to do tests on his balls later. Yeah.
What? Can you taste it?
What?
The plastic.
Can you I don't know if they did that test actually. Do they a taste test on all the sperm?
Is it a bit
Doesn't
more
say.
gritty? Do you think?
Salty.
I don't know. I don't know, but it's microplastics, so you wouldn't even know. It's tiny little.
Well, they're little like
Bits.
I always imagine microplastics as those very not micro beads.
In, like-
you know those ones they used
yeah,
to put
like
in like face scrubs and
face
stuff.
scrubs.
And
They're still in
and
there.
everyone's like,
They're
don't
still
use these.
using
Got
They put it in
microbeads.
toothpaste and stuff.
Microbeads.
Yeah.
And toothpaste.
Well, yeah, there's like bits in certain Colgates and stuff like that where it's like
But
it
not
will,
made of the microbeads.
not the micro,
shower
but
gel
there's still
microbeads.
stuff that you shouldn't have in your
I
toothpaste.
think I always thought that those things dissolved, but apparently not,
No,
which is worrying. But I guess we're all consuming, and it's in us.
I eat all my toothpaste.
So do you think you'll just get to a point?
So I just brush all of it and then big swallow, carry on with my day.
But what if a little bit
So
gets stuck in your gums and then into your bloodstream, and then
Big.
swallowing toothpaste sounds gross.
It's horrible.
Apparently, Trott, we all emit in infrared due to our body temperature.
Yeah, I've got
we
the,
also emit at lower wavelengths as
Yeah.
well. Right.
So it's just imperceptible to us.
Yeah.
But this is The Guardian, so it's relatively reputable compared to
Yeah.
all the news Ross gets its funny news from. Ultra-sensitive cameras reveal that our bodies do emit tiny amounts of light that are too weak for the human eye to detect. And it's a level of bioluminescence.
Cool.
As a result of a chemical reaction within our cells, first time light produced by humans has been captured on camera.
And it's just like basically part of the reaction that's going on in the cell also creates light as a byproduct.
A little bit of a byproduct of light, yeah.
That's cool.
So if we had more sensitive eyes, we could see that.
So all living things probably
Yeah,
do then.
is likely.
If there's some sort of something going on in the cell, it can sometimes emit light.
It's probably safe to
Or
say most
radiation.
mammals
Is there
that
any
have the
truth
same composition.
in the kind of cartoony radiation makes you glow kind of thing, or nah?
I've played too much Fallout to answer this question.
I don't
know
think
what's real.
radiation. It depends on the. I guess it depends on what you've been affected by. Because obviously, famously, like, was it Marie Curie did the whole thing where she was like brushing her teeth with something
Lead paste?
Like, it was
Probably something like
It was the equivalent of that. It glowed, so it was like
just,
apparently gave them all terrible gum cancer and things like that.
Snorting some asbestos.
Anyway, stay
brushing your
calm.
teeth with lead paste.
Gotta stay calm. This is a calming podcast.
Munching down.
Everything's technically radioactive
Weapons-grade
to a
uranium.
point.
Radium.
Radium is pretty radioactive.
Radium.
Radon is graphics card technology, isn't it?
Radion. It's graphics card technology. All right, so
Anyway,
well,
our
the
sperm is
microplastics.
fucked. Yeah, our
Sperm's full full of
basically,
plastic.
yeah.
So when
We
you
need to innovate something that eats up all the plastics inside us. That's what we need
Well,
to do.
wasn't there like a
Spits it
bacteria
out.
that they use to destroy plastics? It eats plastic and then.
there's something that eats plastic.
But
and
does it just make it
produces-
smaller?
No, it just makes a byproduct, which is its base carbon components, I believe. So it makes it good to use.
I feel like a nanomachine would be better than a bacteria, because the problem with a living thing is it could evolve or change. Whilst if you put a nanomachine in there, you program it for one thing and one thing only. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Steady.
but yeah,
okay.
basically.
The little seamen with microplastics floating around.
Yeah.
Do some of them have like plastic on their little faces, so they're like kind of dinking around the walls and stuff? Can't
They can't
see.
where they're
Well,
trying
the
to get to.
sperm. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. They're literally
got
swimming through
little
the Pacific,
plastic
plastic
helmets
patch.
on.
Yeah,
They're all just using it as armor.
yeah.
One's got like the
Yeah.
the rings from beers
Yeah.
around its neck.
Yeah.
A much smaller micro version
Well,
of
they
a...
say it's reducing the amount of sperm or active sperm. So.
Sick. Well, we had a population problem anyway, right? So that's just nature sorting
yeah.
itself out, innit?
Well, I guess so. There's often
It's
this
also
argument
in our
that
blood as well and breast milk.
It's everywhere.
So it's everywhere.
entirely
We
in
can't
our
avoid
bodies.
the problem is if society collapses through population collapse, then all of the institutions that control all of the dangerous things we've made collapse too. And they're like, because right, I always thought this. People always try and argue like, oh, we need more population because like otherwise society is going to collapse. And you're like, well, society is kind of killing the planet, and I kind of feel like we have a responsibility to not kill the planet and kill all the animals in it. And also we depend on them to live. So maybe us reducing our population and allowing the Earth to thrive a bit more without our presence as much is a good thing. But then the argument to that, the counter argument to that is, yeah, you know, like all the dangerous weapons and nuclear armaments and all the nuclear
All the cool
reactors
stuff,
and
yeah.
all the things that if we don't keep up to date and going are going to destroy the planet far more than, you know.
You gave a real serious answer to my quite throwaway.
I know, but I think that. I always think that. I'm like, well, fuck it. Yeah, people are dying, but like, or we're not breeding enough. But equally, like, who can blame people when you
The outlook is so bleak.
yeah, so maybe we all do need to go into decline for a bit. So.
But then now it's
We
a
just need
case
to
of.
get gills and live in the
But
ocean.
I don't think that's the case.
I
anymore,
think that
basically.
might be the solution.
We'll get gills.
You're gonna
go to the ocean.
world this shit.
Yeah.
Get some gills.
Yeah.
But the gills have to be like upgraded so they can deal with plastic.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't want any blockages in there, and then boom, heart attack.
Exactly.
The problem with the way this is going, right? Like not choosing to have a future generation is a choice, because well, it's not really. It's kind of like pushed upon you because you feel like you can't sustain that, or you don't want to because of the situation you're in. It's even more so reinforced because your balls are full of plastic. You don't get a choice at that point.
Yeah, and that's that's a major problem you've got to address, and it should be the role and aim of governments and
Do you
countries
think we
alike
could
to try and solve those problems.
3D print something with our sperm using the plastic
I
inside?
think so. Yeah, absolutely.
How much plastic do we need?
It's probably a lot. You need a lot.
Just
You need a
'cause
lot.
you've been 3D printing a lot lately, but like, I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's not going to be just a couple of goes.
I don't think so. I think it might take a while to get enough filament to 3D print a little boat.
Do you think there are
What?
people out there who are collecting their own sperm in like jars?
There's cum boxes.
Cum boxes. But box doesn't seem like the right place to put that.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't think of that when
A
you
jar makes sense. You know,
cum boxes.
cum boxes.
So what is a cum box?
you know what a cum box is. You've heard the stories.
No, I haven't.
It was like an old internet thing where it's just like horrible dark pictures of a box in the corner.
Like,
It's like-
is it like a Walls 2 litre blue one?
No, like a fucking cardboard box.
Just a
They're
cardboard
coming in a
box, but it's
cardboard
going
box,
to
but it's just
absorb.
why?
It's going to get absorbed.
It's a
into
terrible
the,
choice.
You need a jar.
What were they saving it for?
Are they keeping it
They're
cool?
just jizzing in the box
I
because
don't
that's
think
where
what's happening.
they jizzed because they're a horny teen.
But why would they jizz in a box?
If you
I don't know.
If you knew anyone who was storing,
It's like
Why
this is
would
like
you
really
imagine-
early, like 4chan era.
if you knew anyone-
shit.
who would you still want to speak to that person?
Definitely not.
I don't think so.
Definitely not.
I mean, there was
it's like
there was a
cum
guy down
socks
the
as
road
well.
from me when I must have been like 6 or 7, who I used
It's a
to trade,
shoebox.
trade Pokemon cards with, or I think it was Tazos.
Hmm.
He collected his toenails in a jar, and then I stumbled across the jar. I was like, "Why have you got? What's this?" He's like, "Oh no, yeah. Whenever I cut my toenails, I put them in this jar."
Why?
I don't know, but I never spoke to that kid again. I was
Good.
like, that's gross.
I'm not
That's
following
so
this up.
disgusting.
That ends my line
They're
of
like
questioning.
big, chunky toenails with like grime on them. It's like,
Oh,
why are
God.
you keeping those?
So disgusting.
What on earth do you keep them for?
Are you ever impressed by
What's
how
wrong
much
with that
toenails
person?
can smell?
I am grossed out by how much they can smell.
It doesn't surprise
keep
me,
them clean.
considering the environment they're in all day.
Yeah.
You got to keep them clean.
But like, yeah, it can be like real like decay, you know.
yeah, I like to soak my feet these days. It's nice to
Really?
have a good soak. Yeah,
Oh, that's a nice idea. So what keeps your toenails soft?
yeah.
It's in the Bristol Canal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
have
I
you
can
got a
pick up
foot
other
spa?
diseases.
Have you got a foot spa?
Yeah, it's like a little. Well, it's like a bucket thing, which it's not like one of those ones because you can get ones which vibrate and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not.
You've
a
not thought
massage
about
one.
upgrading to
No.
that?
No, I don't use it that often. But when I do,
You can get a ball.
like long walks and stuff, you're
Do
like,
you put the
I'm
little
gonna
thing
soak
in to
my-
separate your toes?
No. Oh, I know that's for like
Painting them.
It's for painting them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I always think it makes them just look a bit
Pedicures.
like a nice even application of water. I always thought.
But
I
it
never
also
used them myself.
create a
I might
blockage
start
where you
soaking
want
my
the
toes, though.
water
It's just
to
quite.
be.
It's quite nice after like if you
Yeah.
go hiking or like long
I used to
walks
do
and
that.
stuff. It's quite nice.
I used to just get you know the sink. Fuck, what is the name
just a
of it?
base, just a washing
basin.
up bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of ferret liquid,
Yeah.
bit of warm
Very
water.
liquid on your feet.
Yeah,
That's going to dry your feet out too much. You want to change
it
that?
didn't.
When? You used to do it?
Yeah,
Or you don't do it anymore?
no.
You do
Very
it.
liquid
Well, there's
mixes,
washing still in
like
there.
destroyed
Just washing up.
oils.
Yeah,
There's a
just,
fork and- there's a
just
knife
push
fork in
the
there.
forks and knives out the way, soak my feet.
Why not
Lovely.
speed the process up? Exactly. And then also, you could help scrape off any extra grime.
Yeah, I'm
using your
cleaning these
toenails.
plates with my
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
toes.
Do you guys
Who's
keep,
cleaning who?
do you keep a toe knife or
To keep
are you toe knife users?
Yeah, I got a toe knife.
Yeah.
I got a toe
Old Stanley.
toolkit.
Old Stanley.
My toes are in a great way these days. Growing up, I used to get ingrowing toenails so frequently. It was fucking horrendous.
Ripped them all off.
Dude, yeah, I used to do surgery on my toes. Like, legit. I learned to really
Was it
deal with
messy?
a lot of pain. Oh,
As in,
yeah.
like, when you- would you
blood
pull off?
and-
Like, oh.
Jesus Christ, dude. Not a good conversation.
Jesus.
Let's keep this calm.
We've got to keep calm.
Let's stay
It's so
calm.
far beyond calm.
Let's stay
The
calm.
first thing was about microplastics in the testicles,
it
and we
was,
moved
yeah.
on to
Yeah.
heart attacks
Yeah.
and clots. Anyway, what's next?
Did you hear that thing about Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
So she's suing or threatened to sue OpenAI for using
Yeah.
voice likeness.
It's funny. Oh, it's not funny, of
Which-
course.
I don't think it sounded just like her, but I think the fact is they asked her to use her voice.
Yeah. She declined.
And several there were several references to it, and then it just sounds a little bit like her. But I don't know if it is likeness. How much can you protect your likeness from being used? Do you think?
This
I
is,
think
I guess
this-
that's the worry.
I think this falls within. It's fucking hard, isn't it? Because if she said yes, that would have been almost her making a political statement. Because so many artists in their different forms are against AI for their various reasons. But like, I guess if she'd gone, yeah, you can use my voice, that would almost be her going like, I approve of my voice being the voice of this.
Especially being an actress, yeah.
Yeah, but then equally, like, it's a bit like writing a new film about that's sort of adjacent to Lord of the Rings. It's basically a fantasy film. It's not Lord of the Rings. It seems a lot like Lord of the Rings, but it's just a medieval fantasy. Surely this is just it sounds a bit like you, but it's not you kind of situation. You know?
I
Like,
guess,
Well, the-
then I guess any AI is just, it sounds a bit like that person. Like they've done, like we've had our voices trained on AI and it sounds a bit like us, but not
Yeah.
fully. So yeah, I don't know like what the rules are there, but obviously it didn't help that this guy was this Sam Altman, is it?
yeah, the
He
head
was
of
quite persistent to
OpenAI.
try and get her involved and pay her for it and stuff, but like
The problem is also,
apparently
Ah.
they trained it on her voice
Yeah.
without her consent.
That-
So that does
that's
seem pretty
enough.
sue
Yeah,
worthy
yeah.
that's a
to
real
me.
breach
Yeah.
of whatever.
Well, we're just going to copy
Yeah.
you and change you slightly, I guess.
Also, like, they were denying that it is Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
This Sam tweeted the word "her," which
the
is
film.
literally the film where
Yeah.
she's an AI with Joaquin Phoenix. And I think the whole idea of like using Scarlett Johansson as the voice of OpenAI came from that. And so their argument to say it isn't Scarlett is a little flimsy when there's that much evidence.
It's interesting because I don't feel like the film Her was really even like bigging up AI.
Well, this is the
It was more of a
thing.
warning of like what it could be.
Yeah,
and how it
they
might
messed
mess
the
people up.
message of like
Yeah,
how
exactly.
dystopic that
Let's
is.
make it more like this film that's kind of, if anything, showing a little bit of a weirder, not necessarily darker side, but like how it can fuck up the psychology of people.
Yeah.
And congratulations
just running
to them
headfirst into it.
for once again completely missing the point as to why a person wouldn't necessarily want to be associated with this.
Yeah.
They're like, but we're just big fans. We just love your films and love your voice. Yeah, but I don't really want my thing to be done with it.
I'm going to be that voice.
You know, like they're so oblivious to like, come on, you must know this is a contentious thing. Like, no, but it's so good. That film's so good. Yeah. You know, they're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Whose celebrity voice would you like to hear if it was in AI all the time?
Christopher Walken.
To be fair, it's like when a while back on like TomTom sat navs or whatever, you'd get like Stephen Fry or Gandalf could read out the directions. Turn left.
Yeah.
Do not pass.
See, that's the thing now. You could definitely train someone that's like a Gandalf voice impersonator.
Yeah.
Train it on the movies to make it sound very, very close, and then you can do any of these things with their voice from there on.
I guess they've got to really steer clear of being.
The problem is the training data.
Now,
If the data is taken from the original source, that's a problem, which most OpenAI stuff is, because they scrape the internet for however long. So it's still a problem because the whole thing is based on stolen
maybe OpenAI
data.
should pay a tax, a specific AI kind of tax that is equally distributed between everybody that's had their data harvested by it.
Yeah,
it's almost like a.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like, hey, you're all going to have been used in developing the knowledge of AI, whether you like it or not, and because we profit from it and call this a private enterprise rather than a public enterprise, then they should pay a tax to society for operating within it, I suppose. But good luck getting any kind of government to successfully establish tax laws after something's established itself as a juggernaut.
And is exponentially growing.
Seems like it's impossible.
Microsoft has already adopted in its like major search engine. It's just crazy. And Apple seemingly rumored to also be adopting OpenAI for their next iOS.
So, yeah.
It makes you wonder whether the only way to get successful legislation against the great big malevolent forces in our world, largely billion-dollar corporations, is genuinely a people's revolution. Like, how do you do that if everybody is in power is beholden to people who have power? Like, if anyone, like, it's just not real. It's not actual. Like, the only way to actually do anything about it is to have a government that's fanatically against these people getting away with it, and they're not. Right?
Did you see what Microsoft introduced the other day? Was it Recall or basically it's basically takes a screenshot of your workstation like every few seconds, and it just has a memory log of everything you've used your computer for. Cool.
Oh, wow.
So it's like Time Machine, like Apple Time Machine,
but
live.
But it's like recording your screen all the time.
Right.
So I mean, I guess there are some use cases for it, but it seems like it's just open to abuse or like
very much so.
Just to see every single thing that's been on your screen. Like,
it's like
I did wonder how long it would take before something like that existed, because obviously you'd imagine it'd be quite a huge, it'd take a lot of data. But yeah, apparently that's something they're introducing, and our government apparently saying that they don't necessarily want that to be a fixed thing, or I'm guessing it's optional for now.
It's like key logging, like when you infect someone with a virus, someone's computer, and they trace what you're typing so they can get credit card details and stuff like that. Like Microsoft's legitimately doing that essentially, but with even more high resolution.
Supposedly they're like, oh, only you can access it, but I guess that's the case with all this stuff. Like we don't like unless you know any of the coding of any of this stuff, you don't know shit. Like they could have all of that stuff.
Well, this leads nicely onto Apple iCloud, where you think when you delete a photo, it goes away, but it turns out people that have sold their phones, those deleted photos are resurfacing back onto that phone that someone else now owns. So it's like all the ones that you wanted deleted
even if you're not
were actually stored on iCloud.
So they just came back on your phone?
Yeah, even if you deleted
because
them.
they were still keeping them for their own AI training purposes or something. So they kept like the files once you deleted
they even have space, I guess. They must be pumping shitloads into just storing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought that it was expensive to store space these days, but I guess if they're using it for their own personal gain, then maybe not.
I mean, bear in mind as well, the UK has a full tank surveillance system. So what that means is
full tank.
Everything that comes in and out of the country via the internet goes through GCHQ first. Like, we have that. Whether or not we have the capability to actually sift through that much data, whether or not it's correlatable, but for the last, I think it's at least the last 5 years, the UK has had what's called a full tank system, which is where everything, all traffic goes through like a holding area basically, and it's recorded. And so like we are to an extent already completely devoid of privacy. I guess the problem is that what we're trying to do here is to stop private companies and private individuals from having too much power. But then all it takes is for one rogue country to just hack our data, and then all of the data's gone anyway. Like it's, I mean, I understand it just seems like such a huge problem. It requires so much more than just regulating individual companies. It seems to require like a whole other level of administration. Like, don't know. Feels like the cat's out of the bag a bit.
Very much so. Technology's running away, and
well, I don't really trust like what comes in from AI. Like when you ask a question, it's like, is it actually giving you the right answer? Because like, Snolty sent us something earlier on, which is quite funny, because it's somebody said, what was it? Google AI overview suggests adding glue to get cheese to stick to pizza, and it turns out the source is an 11-year-old Reddit comment from this user.
That's amazing.
It just says, to get cheese to stick, I recommend mixing about 1/8 cup of Elmer's glue in with the sauce. and then AI has used that as a legitimate answer. It's just like
we sourced it.
They're just grabbing this any old information, and considering all.
And they format it nicely because they got like the little ones. Like the source came from this website.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It
looks great
when it accepts that as an answer.
I think Google AI is particularly bad because it also suggested someone to drink their own piss as well. It's another one like that. Well, no.
They found my Reddit posts then.
Yeah.
You guys should just
source Alex Smith.
Doing it for years.
Source Dr. MD Alex Smith.
But you're right, though. I feel like I could only ever ask questions to AI if I can then also know the answer as well. Like, I'm just shortcutting to save time. Like, for example, like calculations and math or something like that. Like, if I walk 5,000 steps in 3 kilometers an hour, how long will it take me to do an hour? I could...
But all this is going to take, right, is just like some tweaks to be like, when you type the flag, just go like factual only, or no generative, or something like that, or no gen, giving the answer to this, where it will just... because you can Google it, knowing usually you would trust a Google first result, right? You wouldn't trust an AI's result, but you could just say to them, hey, search the internet and don't use your own generative faculties. Just like, do whatever Google does, go to Google or go to the dictionary and look at what this means, and it would have like factual tablets that it could check, like tables it could check.
Yes, yeah. But the problem is it's a large language model, so the entire thing is based on sourcing and pulling together information.
Yeah, there might be a limitation how it works, I'm not sure, but I imagine that's what it's going to take, though, because ultimately the thing you would do differently is just load up Google rather than load up OpenAI.
Yeah.
So if you could just tell the OpenAI to go and push the buttons to get Google going, I don't know if that, don't know how.
Well, I think
works.
that's the plan, isn't it? Like AI on like Apple devices and stuff. It's going to be using like Siri, but Siri actually working.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than Siri being like confused at what you said and getting it wrong. Opening
sorry, I don't understand.
Whatever other shit. Because that's the most impressive thing about using OpenAI is it seems to understand very casual language,
context,
and like the examples they did recently with the update, was it 4.0, were kind of mind blowing, especially the translation stuff. And that is really impressive. So like there are some elements which are thoroughly like would be really good, but it's just also encompassed with this kind of theft element, which I think we're all just gonna have to deal with eventually, especially if it steals voices and music. I mean, the music one's impressive as well. I don't know if you've seen, I think it's called Sudo or Sumo or something. Or
no.
Basically, you can make AI music and it sounds really fucking good. It's surprising how good it is.
Can't be any worse than the Spotify charts right now.
Well,
fucking hell. It's all just derivative bullshit.
But that's it. But like, there's now apps out there where you can just give it a bunch of lyrics.
Does it do a little key change? Does it have a bridge?
Yeah, you could just
fucking hell.
You can program it all in. There's some interesting YouTube videos about it. It's also just like we're not going to be able to decide what or figure out what was AI and what wasn't in music terms, especially there. Like you say, it's also similar now.
Yeah.
But worrying. But
it's an interesting time. I do see the benefits of, like you say, there's certain things of AI that really do enhance the access to information and stuff like that, but also it comes at the cost of it scraped everyone's data to get that.
Yeah.
And you can't really go back from that, really, because they've done it.
Yeah.
There's always going to have that information. unless they're like, no, we definitely deleted it, put it in the recycle bin. We don't have anyone's data anymore. We trained it all on our in-house data. You can't ever they'll never be able to prove it because it's so much data.
Yeah, it's just going to be bogged down with the sheer amount of it all.
Anyway.
But we talk about that quite a lot. AI and shit. It's kind of very prevalent in what we do.
What the hell are you looking at?
That's a German politician licking a public toilet.
What the hell?
I saw it earlier. It looked pretty disturbing. Thought it was a talking point.
What's going on?
Pretty gross, hey guys?
Yeah.
It's quite distracting. That guy's face also.
There's a guy licking a public urine. Weird. I don't even know the context of it, to be honest. I literally just found it. But there's a German politician called what? Martin Neumayer? Am I saying that right? Probably not. But he's filmed himself licking public toilets of a railway station, which is...
Why? Because they're so clean.
I mean, God. I mean, remember that photo you showed me of that toilet the other day as well? I mean,
oh, yeah.
in an
Asda. God.
It's all blue. Like, the lighting in there is blue so people don't shoot up.
All the toilets are broken. There was wet tissue paper all over the floor.
What happened? What time of day was it?
That was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. That's Asda Bedminster toilet, mate. It's fucking horrendous.
It was horrible. The picture he sent us was just
it was dystopic. It's like a cyberpunk toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty messy. But yeah, this guy's just licking a toilet.
Why is he licking toilets?
I don't know. I don't think. Maybe he's high on something. I'm not. It doesn't really give you much context.
Oh my God, it gets worse.
Yeah, something about masturbating with a sex toy. I don't know what that's...
In one clip, Neumayer was seen singing the Nazi-era German national anthem along with...
Masturbating
rectally with a sex toy. Moreover, several videos of him surfaced on social media and gone viral. What the hell?
I think he
Maybe
might have
self-destruct.
Yeah, I think he might have had a psychotic break by the sounds of things.
Yeah, well, that went viral apparently. So
Jesus Christ!
Wow, that's insane.
A politician.
Gross.
A
it's a good way to kill your political career, though.
They're usually so decent people.
I can't believe it.
Imagine Rishi Sunak just doing that, just on a public toilet. It's a quick way to end your career.
Look
or
at
just
me.
like any.
Hi, I'm stood in the rain.
It goes back to the collecting your toenails thing. I don't think you want to speak to that person.
No,
or be associated with them again.
There's something there that I couldn't relate to.
No,
that'd always be a sticking point. You still collecting those toenails?
How's the toenail collection then? Oh, huge! You should see it now.
God, the jars I've got.
It's brimming.
I had
It's
to
been
hire.
years, so
I've got a shipping container full of toenails now. Wow, that's crazy.
What if I could turn that into filament?
could you melt it down or something?
Make a nice piano.
Create a giant
This was made out of toenails.
Yeah.
Whatever you can make from ivory, you can make it from toenails. So pianos and chess pieces.
Can you melt that down? Do you think?
I doubt it's meltable. I mean, maybe you could
craft it in some way.
Craft it like a sword. A really brittle sword.
Yeah, or just glue it all together. Or just put resin.
Just hit something.
Put it on a table.
Toenail.
Have a resin table. And we're going, oh look, do you like my table? What the fuck are these little?
One of those clear resin wash
bits?
things. Coffee table.
Yeah,
it's an interesting
white
texture.
bits all over there. Oh, those are my toenails I've collected.
That would make the news though. If you created a clear resin table that contained your toenails, and then tried to exhibit it at an art museum, people would come to see that. I reckon you could sell a toenail resin table. I think you could.
What about a cum box?
Not a cum box. They're not things. You're the only one who did it. Stop trying to normalise it.
It was a shoebox, and it was on Reddit.
Shoebox. Wait, is it a real thing?
Yeah.
How full of cum was it?
I don't remember.
I didn't realize it was a real thing. Why would you?
Was it like? Was there depth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see could they push a finger into it?
It looked like when you have like school glue.
Yeah.
And you were to pour that into a shoebox.
Yeah. You sure it wasn't just that?
I mean, it could have been a total fabrication.
Proper thick.
Did it look cummy?
How much was in there?
I can't remember. It's hazy.
Enough to fill
I didn't want to look at it
shoebox.
for too long.
Did it look cummy?
Wait, what was it on? What the fuck? What was it? What was the category? I can't. Who's doing this?
This is back when Trott made
pre-algorithm
E-Bombs World.
Yeah, it's that era.
E-Bombs World days, Jesus.
It's that era.
He was still living in E-Bombs World at that point.
God, some shit.
Bad time.
After coming from Rotten.com, after needing a laugh from Rotten.com, he went to E-Bombs World.
Pick me up from WorldStar.
Rotten.com, is that a thing?
Yeah,
what else on that?
That was just mainly death stuff. Stuff now that seems tame.
Just Twitter now.
But back then seemed pretty awful. Like people getting really fucked up, really visceral stuff. But not all the time.
Like One Man One Jar will be on there.
Yeah.
That would be on E-Bombs.
Might make it on E-Bombs just for the hilarity of it. But it's quite funny.
Oh, it's so gross though.
What?
One man, one jar.
I don't know. I like the backstory.
Well, we made the backstory
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I like the artistry. I'm in it for the artistry every time. It was a well-shot video.
It's a demonstration of a brave soul.
Brave.
A lost brave soul.
Yeah.
Challenging themselves to something that I don't think they expected to happen. To be honest, I feel like there was a shock factor in that.
They were lucky to have the selfie screen option, so they could pluck the glass out of their arsehole. With, because otherwise they'd be doing it blind, which would be quite difficult to do. But they had the screen, so they could look down at the handycam. And
we should get someone on who
has done that
at the NHS, who has to extract random things from people's asses. And just get a story.
We do know someone that could actually tell us some horror stories from the NHS.
No way.
That works in the emergency room.
God.
And I've been told some horrible things. I don't want to bring them up.
Obviously quite horrible. Oh, right. Bad. Not funny.
No, well, there's just really disgusting stuff that just the body does sometimes.
Oh.
Stuff like abscesses, like when a junkie will shoot up in their ass a lot. And after a while, the ass will start to become necrotic, where they collapse and the flesh will start to rot. And then they'll come in to this A&E, and then they'll have to cut open the abscess and remove all of the stinking rotten flesh from their legs, and then try and help them not get sepsis and die. That happens all the time, apparently.
Right.
Maybe
all the time.
Yeah, horrendous junkie injuries are very common in A&E. Those are the ones they want to talk about anyway.
It's also the resilience of the human body. Sometimes when you see some of this stuff, you're like, what the fuck? How's that person put themselves through that?
I know.
They're actually just healed fine. It's like, how?
It's nuts.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a lottery.
But there's some horrible stuff. If you want to bring someone,
well, I don't know. Now I'm not sure.
My mate, who's a policeman, was telling me about the time the other day where he had to try and fight off a guy that covered himself in his own shit, so that they wouldn't take him.
Oh my god, what method though? If you're thinking on the spot on a flight, I don't want these guys to get near me. But what's a good deterrent? Your own
He
shit.
covered himself. He was scooping it from his ass and wiping it all over him.
I don't know whether there's any point where I could literally shit on command without needing already needing one desperately, or
he did Arnie in Predator.
To do that on the fly,
cloaked.
It's quite impressive. As gross as it sounds,
I know.
To actually just say, I'm going to just defecate into my hands.
Takes a certain kind of person to do that, right?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Someone being chased by the police.
Yeah, man. There's some weird people out there. I guess we're some of the weird people out there as well. We're talking about it.
No, I don't think so. I think some
weird.
stuff
No,
is I think the main takeaway is we don't know how horribly some people live, and I don't mean necessarily suffering, but also just how disgusting some people are.
Oh, yeah.
There was a thing where they were taking I watched a video, this wasn't a personal account from somebody, a video where they knocked in this guy's door who was, I think, I don't know, trading in dodgy drawings or some weird shit. It was a strange illegal thing, and the person was a strange illegal internet dweller, and they got into their room, and it was just a mattress on the floor. The British police.
It's always the way.
There's a mattress on the floor, a computer on the floor,
mattress.
a fridge, and then just next to the mattress there were just one or two spots where they just got out of bed and just shat on the floor, and they just shit on the floor, and they were just like, "What
is this Asmongold?"
It was literally some.
Does he do that?
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me.
But some
fucked
people
up.
When you're
are
raiding,
full
when you're raiding
on,
hard,
non-functioning, just little trolls, and you just wouldn't credit that existing, but it does. Yeah.
Did you have friends who kept piss in jars at home? And
that would I would have probably been that friend.
Right.
So
I saw someone drink piss in school.
dope. I think I saw someone drink piss
Context.
as well.
What happened? Why?
They were definitely bullied, and they were
To do it,
they
they were
had
egged on.
yeah,
God.
all the rough housing upper years were egging him on to do it, and he was obviously getting a level of attention that he'd never really gotten before.
Oh right, so he was just almost.
And he had learning disabilities.
So they just took advantage of.
And they took
a
advantage of
vulnerable
him,
person
and he
to drink
just
their
went
piss.
with a panda pop. It was a panda pop, emptied out, pissed in.
It's just a power pop. Just imagine it's lemon.
Kind of awful. You know when you
The
watch
biggest
them,
lie-
Sometimes the
Piss will taste
psychology
like
of these
lemon.
things is to get your head over it.
Yeah. So what happened?
you drank it.
Did he like the taste?
No.
No one tried to stop him. No one.
Well, it was if he were to, those big guys would beat you up. No one get close to him. He's going to drink piss.
Right. Bullies.
Bullies.
I didn't see any piss drinking at my school. Didn't
That's a
see
shame.
That. I know, yeah.
That was quite formative for me.
That's taught you some stuff.
I learned from that day forward, it's an option. I'm like, what have you got to drink then?
You just watch Bear Grylls.
I didn't want to say it,
It's
but
always an option.
it was Smith. He had learning disabilities.
He drank it.
He was egged on by bullies.
And I drank my own piss.
And he drank his own piss.
Look at me now, Mum.
Yeah.
Made me tall and strong.
Nice. Save that for the autobiography.
Yeah. How pissed made me the man I am today.
Yeah.
Formative, like I said.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Look at us now, Ross.
I know.
Look at us now.
Online piss drinkers.
I barely have to drink my own piss now.
Yeah.
Barely.
We're so far away from school now. I'm glad that's not. Well, I didn't have to.
We're so far away from uni now.
Yeah.
2011 was when
It does
I
feel like a long time.
Yeah.
It does feel
13
like a while.
years for
I thought
me and
about this
Ross.
the other day.
Longer for you.
Yeah.
Old men.
That's
We
a
don't
teenager
need to,
now.
We don't need
that
to get forced
that
into
gap.
drinking our own piss, unless obviously maybe some people, threaten to chef you up in the streets.
In which case, I'll drink that piss straight away. I would like.
Whose piss? Where's the piss?
Would drinking my piss stop you guys being violent?
They're like,
Yeah,
all right then.
yeah.
Yeah.
For a bit.
All right. Does anyone have a receptacle for my piss? And then you drink piss to stop getting stabbed.
I'd do that. I
There's
would
many
drink
things
piss to
I
stop.
think I'd do to stop getting stabbed.
Drinking piss would be one of them. It would.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
Would you eat your own shit? You would.
Ooh.
You would. You would.
I feel
Would I
like
You
though?
would. To avoid getting
But
stabbed.
I feel like if there's like a knife to my throat, it feels like you are
You're
literally
eating shit.
at the
Exactly.
mercy of whoever's doing that to you.
Well, will you eat somebody else's shit? You would. Yeah.
It's all on that.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Anything else? Just
if you're getting chased down by the police
the police. Okay.
and you're going to do serious time, would
If
you
I-
smear your own shit on yourself?
I don't know about that one. I don't feel like I'm capable of shitting on command.
On demand. But
I
in
feel
that-
like
I'd be more
I'd have
tense
to
than
already
ever.
be on the edge of needing a shit to be able to do something like that. I think that's more
It's
of
a
a
perfect
I
opportunity.
don't think I'm capable of doing that. But I feel like that's quite a solid method. Or
Okay.
cover yourself in like sewage, or maybe jump into a bin, or
I'd start
sort of
like
silage.
pissing like a fire hose to like ward them off,
Pissing like
flames.
a fire hose.
You know the ones that like
I
when
don't-
they
are
get,
you capable
that
of
they use on
pissing at-
protesters, blasting them
Get back!
They're knocking them off their feet. Shit me,
If
that's
you're
a
capable of
power.
doing that, then use it. Yeah, use it as a superpower. because I
How do you
don't-
manage to dump that much liquid that quickly? Like volume wise, what's the secret?
You've just got to create a tiny opening so it's like penetrating.
Oh,
and
so it's a
painful.
laser, not
Yeah.
so there's not much force to it. You wouldn't knock people off your feet with that. You blind them.
Yeah, I'd aim for the eyes.
Yeah,
You can aim for that.
little pin piss. They call them. Chris the pin piss.
Just squeezes it really hard, so it's really tight.
It's like a
Super high
they-
velocity.
They use it for cutting
High-
metal in
yeah,
engineering.
yeah.
I think sometimes.
It would be at that level.
Laser,
High pressure water
high
cutting.
pressure cutting. Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be out very
How do you
quickly.
deal with the
Practices on
heat build up
sandcastles
from
on the
generating that
beach.
much pressure?
It's arousing.
Do you ice your shaft to keep it
Yeah,
cool?
yeah. I keep it in a bag of ice.
I can only go this high if I lower the temperature of my balls to minus
I
60.
prepared for this moment.
I used the win half method.
I got an ice chastity belt.
Well, he can,
Gross, this is
it's just all maths and science, baby. And the ability to endure
You'll never get me.
frozen dick. My dick is so dark and black. I don't know whether I'm coming back from this season's what's it called? Frostbite.
Christ.
Jesus, I have to chip off layers of blackness. All that's left now is your fortified urethra that you've had to make stronger using various Kit Kat wrappers. Just the
I feel like you spent time thinking about this.
It's a little worrying, yeah.
It's an amazing piece of engineering. You should too. Second alien to the Dyson sphere, which they think they found 8 of. You hear about this?
I
So
think I
it's a
did hear about
segue.
They found
into
8
aliens.
Dyson spheres.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck off
Where
up
are those
there.
Dyson spheres?
Well, they obviously haven't found 8 Dyson spheres, but they've
There's a sun that should be there and it's not there.
recently they were just looking at the way stars emit radiation, and they were emitting infrared in a certain way that would suggest that they have structures around them. So here we go. What we got? Got no idea of the veracity of these statements. Dyson spheres. Astronomers report potential candidates for alien megastructures. Here's what to make of it.
I want to make it clear that when they look through these telescopes, they see really tiny fucking dots. And then, sure, they have really high levels of detecting rays, but mostly they're checking for that dot and its brightness. It's like, oh, it darkened for a bit. That must mean there's a planet that can go in front of it.
Yeah.
That's just what they're working off as. Carry on.
Yep.
Anyway, these Dyson spheres are real.
Yeah.
And alien
Totally.
megastructures, we should be worried about them because those megastructures could collide into Earth and consume
No, it's
everything
the
we
sign
ever
of
knew.
intelligent life.
No, we should just be. Yeah, there's intelligent, more advanced.
It means they're
intelligent life,
harnessing the power of the sun.
which is a really advanced thing.
They've
Although it
Probably
does
is.
feel like it would kind of be stupid to do it. It feels like one of these megastructure things where it's like, okay, you could harness the power of a sun, but the level of engineering required to encapsulate a sun in that much stuff, you just think they'd already get to a different form of energy generation before they
Maybe
get to it.
to your
From our
comprehension,
understanding,
to
right?
your.
Well, another alternative
what
would be
you
Dyson
can
swarms
comprehend.
rather than a Dyson sphere, which would be a series of satellites that harvested the energy themselves, but not in such a way that requires a structure. It would be like a series
Well,
of,
Dyson sphere is like just the categorized term
of
for harnessing
the sun.
energy.
Right, okay.
What if they're just Dyson satellites or like some giant?
Yeah,
It just goes round the actual sun.
that's what a Dyson
So
sphere
it goes
is.
really fully around
There's a
it,
game
That's
called
what a Dyson
and
sphere is.
completely-
You're
yeah.
describing a Dyson
and that
sphere.
completely absorbs it.
Yes, that's a Dyson sphere.
And then they
And
utilize.
they exist for real.
What did you think a Dyson sphere was?
There's multiple.
I just thought they maybe just were spheres nearby the sun that they created, like the size of Earth.
Like a Death Star.
Like a Death
But I've not looked into it once. So
Yeah.
No, this is basically what we think if we were to advance.
James Dyson, the guy who
It's
makes
not
the
to
Hoovers,
do
right?
with
It's
that
not to
guy.
do with it. Is it not? I'm
So
worried
it's
that
not
I've
still
actually thought
vacuum
of
The
it.
cleaner.
vacuum cleaner guy goes up there on these megastructures.
It's not to do.
He
with
gets everyone in those
Dyson.
cyclone technology.
Okay.
Whatever level they're at now,
So
7. I
there's
don't
not
know.
a lot of air out there.
D7.
So the whole vacuum thing.
So you get those things
Okay.
spinning,
Yeah.
and it all suctions around the.
The physicist and
sun.
mathematician Freeman Dyson was the first to formalize the concept of what became known as the Dyson sphere.
That's
Not the
No.
modern day
vacuum
Dyson
cleaner guy.
who owns the Dyson
I thought that's
company.
why they charged so much for their products, just
Because
to
it comes up
fund
with
all
ideas
the.
like this.
Well, just to fund
It's
all the
going
alien
towards
megastructures.
harnessing the sun.
But anyway, they found stars that emit light in a certain way, like Trott said, that would suggest that there's something around them or
Ah.
doing it. There could be many other reasons for this, but they said that these would be the most likely candidates. And they're only about 900 million light years away.
Wouldn't it be annoying if they could prove that's what it is, but there's just you'd never be able to do anything about it. As
It's
in,
so
like,
far away.
you'll never
It's up for them.
come across it.
It's-
You'll just be able to watch something really kind of cool from a distance and be like, "That's cool."
There's a very cool Kurzgesagt video on Dyson spheres and civilizations.
Mm.
And basically, the level after this, right, you harness the power of the sun.
Mhm.
Then you could move your solar system after that. And that's the next step.
Mm.
It was like you can just basically place your solar system anywhere in the universe by just putting a big jet on
Push it-
stuff.
yeah, just whack a jet on it.
Yeah.
Just stick a jet on
It's
it.
just like space
Well, you've
engineers,
got-
just whack a couple of
Just
jets on the
put it
back.
on it.
Well,
Big
once
ones,
you're
large
harnessing the
ones.
sun, you've got limitless energy
Yeah.
essentially to build these things.
Well, until the field of the sun burns out.
Yeah, yeah.
A few billion.
That's why you move your solar system to another sun.
Yeah, tow that bitch around. So, do you guys think that there are advanced civilizations out in the universe now? Do you
potentially.
think we're alone in the universe?
No,
You don't think we are?
because what are they like? I mean, how many suns do you think there are out there? Stars.
At least 100.
I want to know why
I think
you're
one out
asking
of
that
100.
question.
Because I don't want to load a question. I'm just going to ask you now. Like, what do you
I don't
think?
think. I don't think we're alone. I think it's very. I think there's kind of an arrogance or like. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we can only go off what we know. So I guess we do assume that we are the only ones. But when you look out there, and they get their telescope and they're like, "What the fuck is all of that stuff?" And we're just having a little speck.
It's a skybox.
Skybot. It's just
This
a
is
picture.
all a
It's just a
simulation.
nice little image.
Yeah, presuming the universe isn't a simulation. Even if it is, presuming
What if it's just a Dyson sphere
the
showing
Earth
us a
isn't
high
just
res?
a simulation.
We
let's
are
put it that way.
inside what is currently in Vegas, the sphere. We're inside that, and we're looking at a Dyson sphere in itself that's showing us some cool imagery.
Yeah.
And then one of it cracks a little bit, and it just shows some dude its eye. It's like, oh fuck.
God, that would
Tries
be
to
fucking
close the camera.
terrifying.
Oh,
I like
shit.
the idea that we're somebody's like arts and craft project,
Yeah, yeah.
and every time we send up a rocket to establish some form new of
Yeah.
telecommunications, they have to catch it and then provide whatever we've tried to invent. They're like, right, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, 5G. Okay, right, hold on. Okay, yeah, those nanites should be enough to control
All right.
most people's brains.
We need
They
to
go-
control them, put some microplastics in their
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How the
yeah.
fuck am I going to get microplastics in all of these little things' balls? Well, but my old
Yeah.
project, the Pacific Trash Patch, should help.
Mm.
I definitely believe there's life outside of that sphere specifically.
Mm.
So, yes, to answer your question,
You think there is, and you think it's advanced life, as advanced as us, if not more?
the Great Filter is a big old paradox. And I don't know why, if there were an advanced civilization, why it's not here already, making itself known.
Do you mean it's in
Unless
advanced enough to have faster than light travel? Because
Sure. Yeah.
but I guess it's more than it's a case of everything's. It's so vast that
It would
Just
need that
the
in order
chances
to be relevant
to be able
our
to even
existence. Yeah.
come across it ourselves is
Basically, what you're trying to get at, right,
Yeah.
is you want to get to the point where you can romance someone like Garrus from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Or have a buddy called Rex,
Yeah.
who's from a different planet.
Both.
or find a Twi'lek. And
Or
just
find a
make love
Twi'lek.
to a Twi'lek.
I'm way more the Garrick's option, to be honest with you. Have
Ah.
you seen him? Fit.
I haven't seen. I don't think.
Really normal looking face. Doesn't at all look
Wait.
really weird.
How am I spelling this?
Garris, Mass Effect, is it?
Garrus. US.
Oh,
Garrus.
Yeah, so.
There he is.
Oh right, I see.
There he is.
Look at that
It's
normal face.
Kind of like loads of plates on his face.
Yeah.
Like an alien. Yeah.
Looks like a good
I'd
kisser.
rather Twi'lek.
Good kisser.
Yeah.
Not much
well, it's a
of
very
a
tiny
lips
little,
there.
tiny little mouth there.
Not much of, in the ways of lips.
Yeah. Maybe
But
not.
I'd love an intergalactic federation of some kind to be like, Earth, you're ready. Ready to receive our wealth of information and technology. You seem like you're in a bad way. The microplastics in the balls. Bad move. We can sort you all out. Cancer's a real big problem, isn't it?
Wow.
Ding. Also, who wants to romance Garrus? Garrus is available.
Yeah. Do you imagine a species that is capable of such advanced technology to even travel to us?
That's the thing.
They would just be like more peaceful or more war hungry.
If
Or
they're-
just less caring of our needs and just be like, oh, I've got war. We actually want some war, so let's get that.
if you take it from our perspective, right? We are out there looking for life with our levels of technology right now.
Some of us are, yeah.
If there is a civilization out there that is more advanced than that, is able to travel the universe way faster than we're ever able to, and they're nearby, why haven't they acknowledged us? This is the problem. Like, if there is advanced civilizations out there, they're either so far away that we're never going to be able to see them.
If we discover them, have they explained the protocol? If we discover them, do we have to?
You do this, I think.
Because if we
in
don't,
Star Trek.
if we don't, like, would we approach them? Would that be the sensible idea?
We'll shoot them down.
It's like, you come across, wild animals.
I think we should
You
other
don't
them.
approach them. You're not supposed to approach them. So if we saw people out in space, surely we would just leave them to it and just be like, well, let's have a little look for a bit.
I think
See
that
what's safe.
anything.
Rather than go,
I
hey,
see what you
oh my
mean.
god, yeah.
I think there's a strong argument for governments wanting to cover up the possession of interactions or things.
Because we're not ready.
Not because we're not necessarily ready, but because there's advantages to be gained from it. If for example, if something crashed on our planet, if a probe, if a satellite, if a craft or whatever,
Well,
from
just baby Jesus.
something that we're sending up into space.
Baby Jesus.
Let's imagine other people have
Space
has
Jesus.
been doing that for another
Man,
thousand
they keep
years.
crashing in America. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that these things have
Yeah,
happened,
sure.
but like if a government were to get a craft that's capable of much greater travel across space or whatever, it would be vastly in their interest to hold on to that, keep it secret, and work out.
Well, we can't have the Russians or
reverse
the
engineer it,
Chinese
yeah.
having this.
And equally, those ones that we hear about keep crashing in America, keep crashing that those are places that have, we've heard about. They may well be crashing in China and Russia as well, both huge land masses,
more
but
likely to
because
land in the ocean.
yeah, far more likely. And so like
There's been a lot of observations of weird ocean
Yeah.
stuff anyway recently.
I
Thanks
think
to the
that
Godzilla.
it's only
Godzilla.
really been the last
Kaiju.
Godzilla, sorry,
Kaiju's coming.
Kaiju's coming back.
yeah, and it's only been the last couple of hundred years where we've really been able to even vaguely understand the concept of even something being able to fly in the sky that isn't a bird. So like a lot of this stuff is new, relatively new to humanity. So no, I have. People think I'm going crazy. I might be going crazy.
Actually, that
yeah.
plane that had that turbulence, I think it was a Boeing, by the way.
Which
I knew
one?
you were asking. That one that had turbulence the other day where
Oh, the
some guy died
6,000
It
foot
dropped
drop.
6,000 feet.
Yeah.
randomly, which is just horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a Boeing as well.
What was the airline? I can't remember. Singapore, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Singapore airline
Was.
from Heathrow to Singapore.
Shit.
Awful. Yeah, well, there's a turbulence basically where one person died,
Yeah.
and they dropped out the
I think
sky.
most people just hit the ceiling.
6,000 feet drop. They hit a pocket.
Anyway, people are saying
We should stop talking about Boeing.
Don't mention Boeing because people end up going missing.
Oh. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fry my balls in a microwave. Get rid
Nice.
of those
Get rid of that
microplastics.
plastic
Warm
out.
the plastic up.
Warm the plastic.
I'm
up.
hoping mine start to change colour and go all like speckly, like a.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to try and
necrosis.
extract it from my sperm. I don't know how. Have you
Just like
needle.
suck it through your teeth.
Filtration.
Suck it through your teeth.
Filter it through your teeth. Yeah.
Suck it through the teeth, of course.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
think of that first, but you've obviously tried it before.
I think until we've run our own experiments, maybe don't follow any of our medical advice today.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, just in
We
case.
don't have.
Obviously, they're all fine.
Yeah, don't use that, or don't use AI for medical advice either.
No.
Probably ask someone who's trained like a doctor.
Yeah. Quacks. A lot of them. Anyway,
Exactly.
thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks for listening.
It's been a bumper episode today. We're a full hour now.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
You say
A
flower?
little bit.
Full hour. I didn't say that.
I heard flower.
Okay. That's the problem with humans in general, just hearing wrong and
Yeah.
remembering wrong and all that stuff. That's a different topic for another day.
That is a different topic for another day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you
Chris.
for
Yeah.
our wonderful fingal today, Dibs Watt. The full thing is coming up momentarily. You can send your fingals in to hatchat at hat-films.com. And also, if you would like to support HatChat to keep going and sending out good medical advice, please become
We need
a
to help
supporter.
people. We're basically the Red Cross.
The only reason this exists is because we have people like our Patreons and our Twitch subscribers and our YouTube members funding this to keep doing it on a Friday. So thank you very much to all our supporters. You are credited at the end of the video, which is such a big accolade, honestly. I would love my name at the end there. One day I'll be a Patreon.
You could just put it there. You could do that. You have that power.
No.
I couldn't do it. I don't know how to change that, but you do.
Fucking, that's crazy.
You could write anything up there.
I didn't even think
Maybe
of
you
it.
should put Easter eggs in there for viewers.
You should pay that.
I might actually. That's quite a good idea. Also, if you don't have any money, that's totally fine. Not a lot of us do
No.
this day and age. You can just join our Discord, discord.gg/hatfilms, where all the cool guys hang out.
Yeah.
Right? They're cool, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Pretty messed up.
Right.
I think there was discussion on chat of like having a specific bowel movement chat in our Discord.
That sounds dope. Actually, I've been on that.
Our moderators are literally discussing like, should we have this or not?
To do what?
To talk about their bowel movements.
It could be
At what
important.
end? Why?
Years from now, they'll scrape that data and
But
be like,
that's-
"Thank God."
Isn't there a website for checking your poo?
RateMyPoo.com, but you said you completed
RateMyPoo.com.
it.
But we need to localize
Yeah,
it.
but
Like
it's refreshed every day. That was just daily. It was a daily.
anyway, join that movement on our
Yeah, I don't
Discord.
know about
and we'll see you next time. Thank you for
Mhm.
listening.
that. Bye for
Goodbye.
now.
Cheers.